Yes, sir.
There we go. We got it.
We got it, man. After a bunch of headache from Facebook, we figured it out.
You gotta
It's a,
love the trial and error whole thing. You know what I mean?
it's part of the game, right?
It
It's part of
is.
the
It
game.
is. And a game it is, my friend.
Yes, sir. Man, how's your morning going so far, Kev?
Good. Good. Lots going on. Wow, it starts early, so you got to get yourself ready. I think you got to get yourself ready the day before you even get into bed. So
That's it.
there's
That's it.
so many things to do, so many tasks, and you got to prioritize and figure out which ones are the most important for you, right?
Absolutely,
And
Kevin. Let me get my notebook, man, because
delete the fluff.
that's it. So I appreciate you, first of all, for taking the time to just, go through all these trials and errors to get on here and share with the people, my audience, that does watch and take notes on, the positive things that they can incorporate into their situation. And, just all of the years that we worked together, years ago, I just remember nothing but positivity, nothing but, personal development and growth. And I remember at one point you went through your own challenges, health wise, and the way that you pulled through with that and just continue to build and grow on who you are. I'm just honored to be able to still have this line of communication, this relationship, and just continue to feed off of what you're doing and put that into my situation. So thank you again for giving us this day, this time to share with us.
Well, you're so kind, and we're all just people. We're all just human beings that are going through this planet, trying to get the best we possibly can and be our best. And we
Yep.
all have challenges. So whether it's health related, and I went through Crohn's disease, but I still have. It's still there. It doesn't go away. You know what I mean? And just figuring out how to deal with that. And I remember you reminded me, you sent me a picture earlier today, and I went, wow, that guy's pretty skinny compared to me right now. So I think at that point I was probably 176 pounds or 179 pounds at 6'4", which is, a bit of a
Wow.
beanpole. And it's taken me since probably 2010 to get myself back to 230 again, which I feel comfortable at. Played sports at that weight, and really I felt the most comfortable. So it's a lot of things that help us get through. I mean, our mini battles and some are major battles for people on the planet, right? So it's
Yep.
mindset is the biggest thing, and I think that's what we're going to chat about today. And we talk about that mostly when we get a chance to chat.
Yep.
But mindset is so much more. I mean, you've got to have that physicality. You've got to have that health in order to get your mindset right, because one will take away from the other, and before you know it, you're just kind of spinning out of control. And been there, done
Yep.
that, and don't like the feeling of that. I have had many mentors along the way, and I will continue to have many mentors. But I kind of look at it like, if this is the trail, drawing a straight line across like a whiteboard or whatever, going, okay, this is where we're going, and the goal is down here. This is where we came from. It's really interesting how when you look back at where you came from, you go, why was I challenged by that? Why did that mess with me? Why did I
Hmm.
think it was so difficult? And when you get through that hurdle, that challenge, it's simply just learning how to unlock the door to get to the next level, right?
Right.
And you look back going, oh, the key was there all the time. I was just looking too hard, or I just was all I was all in my head and didn't focus on the little things in order to be able to see the simplicity of it to move forward.
Right.
So a lot of times what I do to get myself ready for the day is I will do something I call feed your brain before your belly. And
Mm.
I do listen to so many different podcasts. I listen to so many different speakers. Health is a big thing for me because of my challenges I've had, just with Crohn's disease, trying to put it at bay and not go under surgery and all those other things, and find
Right.
a way to, anybody who's out there that's experienced Crohn's, that is probably as worse, but it's really attacking you. You're like, oh, this is tough, right? But
Yep.
finding a way to listen to what's out there, there's so much knowledge, and take it in and find out which one's going to work for you. I find that my mentality, and I'm going to circle on this a little bit, feed
Please.
your brain before your belly kind of came out into the point of going, when I wake up in the morning, if I'm looking at all the negatives that are going on, all the tough things I have, and it just applies to everybody in every realm. Could be, I have a whole lot of bills. I have some health issues. I have family members that are suffering. I've got so much responsibility, so much weight. I help other people. I'm working one job, two jobs, three jobs, four jobs, whatever it might be. I can't get ahead of the game. And the first thing they look at is bills first thing in the morning. I think we have to realize that that brings you in a downward spiral and it puts you in a negative type of sense. So in order for us to get the most out of our day, we got to be the most alert. We have to be the most ready to take on challenges. We have to be the most positive. So what I do, I wake up, the first 20 minutes that goes into this brain right here has got to be something positive and something motivating, or I can't start my day correctly and I can't get to the goal that I'm looking for just for today. And I'm going to back up a little bit when I'm talking about goals, because some people say, well, I have a goal in life to do X, Y, and Z. That's great to have that really big goal, but if you don't break it down into little pieces, it becomes very difficult to even imagine hitting it, because it's too tough. It's like standing
Right.
at the bottom of Mount Everest, looking at the top, so I say, I'm going to get to the top right now, but I keep jumping straight up and I'm not getting there. It's one little hand hold, one foot hold, one fall back down, slide to the bottom, get back up again, don't get discouraged and keep going, right?
Mhm.
Denzel Washington said
That's
one time on a speech, he's like, fall down 8 times, get up 9, you know what I mean? All those type of things. And I
right.
listen to those positive messages that are out there, and it puts my brain into a different level, a different gear to go, okay, I know I'm going to have challenges today. I recognize that. And they're all different types. And most of them I won't see coming, because if you think you're ready for it, it'll blindside you, it'll sneak in the side window and get you, and all of a sudden you're like, holy smokes, where'd that come from? That was not my plan today. I had other
right.
things to do, and this just stole 3 hours of my day. If you look at it that
Mm.
way, it will be a tough day. If you look at it going, oh, something's going to help me develop today, that's fantastic, let me handle it quickly and calmly and move forward and get back on the road again, because the road to success is where you're going. You're heading towards something successful. And again, there's no road to success, because success is different for every single person, and it
That's right.
changes once you get there. You go, oh, this isn't success at all. The success is
Yep.
making it in the journey to wherever you're going or whatever you want to do. That's the success. So
Right.
if the mindset's not right, you're not ready to go. So I will hop up in the morning. I will listen to lots of things, and social media is a huge thing. Don't buy into the fact that everybody's a multi-billionaire and they don't have to do any work. They just have to find the cool side of the pillow and they're instantly rich, right? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's handing you a whole big bag of money. Very few, maybe 1 or 2 in the world. I haven't found it yet. I keep looking, right? So what happens is I realize that I have to work and I have to go after whatever I'm doing. But I listen to all kinds of things, different areas. So one is, I love the health stuff. So Gary Brecka, I'm a huge fan of what Gary Brecka is talking about. Me personally, love what he has to say. Not a doctor, but definitely a mortality specialist, believe it or not, which means he can
Mm-hmm.
figure out how people are going to, end the time on the planet, which means back it up and reverse and find us some things that are going to add longevity. So he talks about things like breath work. I agree with that. Wake up in the morning, take a deep breath, and then put something into your brain that's going to be positive to kickstart you, to get you going. He talks about hydrate yourself. It just makes sense to me. Great. Big giant glass of water down the hatch. Good to go. I feel better. I'm hydrated. Now I can attack
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do. Physical, if you're a gym person, go in the morning if you can. If you're a night owl, go whenever you can just to get moving. Really, really, really important. But the brain is, I listen to lots of people. Jim Rohn, of course, some of the oldies, Tony
Yeah.
Robbins, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Coach Payne. There's so many people, the great Kobe Bryant. I mean, when you hear things they're talking about, David Goggins, when you hear about personal things, what they're able to do.
Yep.
And a lot of times I listen to somebody like David Goggins going, the man is just superhuman. How is it even possible he did all these things? And he can. And why was he able to do it? It's right
Mindset.
here. You think you
Yep.
can, you can. You think you can't, you're right. You can't.
Either way, right?
Yep.
That's why we have the choice, and it's powerful. I think I was watching something that he did the other day too, speaking of him, and he was talking about how powerful the brain is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many people get caught up in, like you were saying, cell phones or computers, AI, which are great, but spend some time thinking and training your brain, right? To be prepared for these challenges that we know that are going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And if we've prepared, then it's easier to deal with them when they come versus not prepared.
100%. And what's crazy is, we don't really get moving in our life until we've had enough of where we are. When we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, we all of a sudden go, I've got to get moving. There's a great book, and you might have read it before. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? And it's a funny little book. It's about this big, right? It's about ham and haw, a couple of little mice, and somebody moved their cheese. And cheese
Right.
obviously represents the opportunity went away, or they got fired or lost their job or something happened. They got to find something new. And how people just wallow and they keep going back to the same thing every single day, hoping that some miracle is going to happen, it's going to change. Whereas we have to start realizing that the cheese or the money or the income or the job was not the problem. It's not the result. It's not the solution. It's keeping on going and building something, which gets exciting. And I find that in my line of work, I run a sales business, and we deal with a lot of high end clients, and there's always people that have, every single person has a challenge. And I think, Jeff, when we were working in the business together, we were always developing people.
Yep.
And our job was never to teach people to become great salespeople. Our job was to teach people to get out of their own way. Get out of your own way. Get up, set a goal, set a target, keep pushing towards something, never give up. Don't negative talk yourself. You know what I mean? The
Yep.
self-talks are really, really important. When things get a little bit too heavy, leave your baggage at the door and go do what you got to do. And I look at people that are in sports, and I love sports. I look at the athleticism and I go, wow, I wasn't born with any of that stuff. This is just amazing to
Right.
watch. I'm a great entertainment. I just love being an armchair quarterback and watching whatever it is, right? Or
Right.
watching LeBron James going, how is this guy at his age still mowing
Doing what
everything
he's
down like
doing.
he's 20? And again, I watch that and I realize that everything we do has got to be practiced. We have to practice the skill set. And the same thing comes to mentality. We have to practice thinking positive to get
Mm-hmm.
positive. And once we get thinking positive on a regular basis, it's like we poured gasoline into the car, and now we can put the gas pedal down and get going, and we can head towards a destination, whatever that might be. And in the
Right.
beginning, you might just want a short destination. It's like a mile down the road. I made it a mile. Then the next time you're a little bit more braver, you can go 2 miles and 3 miles and whatever it might be. Before you know it, you're on track and you're heading towards building the most amazing life for yourself, or a health routine, or whatever it might be. And you bring your family with you. Last but not least, what I want to talk about is I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they're saying to me, how can I be a really good leader if I can't get things going, and I can't, set the bar, set the pace, set the standard for whatever I'm doing, whatever industry they're in, right? And I
Right.
said, it's interesting because and I think Tony Robbins might have said this, and I'm not sure who, because I've just taken in so much information in my head, and it's just there, and it's kind of rewritten the DNA of the way I think, and the way
Right.
I think about things, right? But it
Yep.
comes down to, if the oxygen mask falls from the overhead compartment, put it on yourself first and then help others. So it comes down to, if you're always building you to be a better version of the one you are right now, everybody around you will directly enjoy the results of that. So
Yeah.
family, friends, spouse, in your relationships, everything you do in your workplace, if you are working on building you, so many people can benefit from that, just for the fact that they're fortunate enough to be around somebody who's in the build stage, right?
Exactly.
And and,
Exactly.
and I think people are very critical. They'll watch somebody and they'll say, well, I thought you were going to be the best version of you. And I'm like, well, I've been working on me for like 4 days now so far. Give me a little bit of time. It might take me 400 days. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I know I'm
At
going to
least
get
I'm
there,
working. I'm
because
on
I
the road.
believe I'm going to get there. So part of that journey is, tune out the noise that's happening around you, and focus on what you have to do, and don't let the naysayers distract you from where you're going. Once you make a decision, and like I said before, when you've had enough of having enough, you start moving forward and fall in love with the process, fall in love with the journey, fall in love with the challenges that come next, fall in love with the things that are going to throw you off track, and just simply keep on going. And when you
Man.
get there, you're going to look back and go, wow, I'm so glad I invested in me. It's not selfish.
Yep.
It's probably
You're
the
absolutely right.
it's
I
probably
had a
it's
conversation, and exactly what you just said, I shared with somebody the other day, and I said, sometimes people say, I'm willing to help you and do all of these things, like, just let me know, right? And sometimes when you let them know, they show you the true colors of how much help they were really
Mhm,
actually wanting to give. And
mhm,
sometimes it's not even a matter of whether they wanted to or not, it's that they can't help you. Like you said, when the oxygen mask falls out, put it on yourself first and then help somebody. But if you've never gone out to fill your cup, how can you pour from an empty cup to somebody else who's thirsty
mhm.
and is dehydrated? You don't have any water in yours. So exactly what you said, you have to take the time and invest in yourself first so that you can share the knowledge that you've gained.
Correct. Correct. So,
Yeah. If you were to give, as kind of a final, message, sort of a call to action to somebody who's watching and saying, all of this makes sense, but I have been stuck, in my thinking, and that, like we know, is probably the first step, the biggest thing that holds people back. They're thinking about things wrong. What's the first thing, after watching this and saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm deciding today to make the decision to start developing and getting better. What should I go do now?
I think I would tell them take stock of the people that are in your life right now. And there's some people that are definitely, not to Debbie Downers, not to, say Debbie's a downer, but, when it comes down to it, there's the people that drag you down. They really are, right? And then there's
There's
the
the neg
people,
bombs.
they're the neg bombs, yeah, 100%. They're the ones that are just not adding anything to your world. And I'm not saying cut everybody out. No, don't do that. But look at the ones when you're taking stock of the people in your circle and go, these are the ones right here that are the doers. They're getting it done. They're always positive. They're always mentally going after it. They're getting what they want. They're really pushing hard. I want to find and I want to reach out to them and I want to network with them. And I call that building a circle of 5. Hold your head up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people you need to have in your world. They're going to help you by holding you accountable. People that are willing to say, hey, Kevin, I'm just going to kick you in the behind a little bit when I see you slacking because I care
Mm-hmm.
about you. I care about you and I care about your journey. And I'm honored you shared me in saying, hey, jump on my wagon here and help me by giving me a push when I need it. People like that in your world will help you get there and you'll become a different version of yourself. And if you look back 365 days from when you go on this journey, you're a different person. We are both, you and I, different people than we were yesterday. Something's
Yep.
happened since we woke up yesterday morning and then we woke up today, and you're in your world wherever you are across the country and I am in my where I am. Something happened to every single person out there that changed them just even a little tiny little bit. And hopefully, I don't say hopefully when I cannot control the outcome, it's because it's in everybody's hands.
Right.
Hopefully it changed you for the better and it gave you a step up to be able to go after something that's a little bit bigger and a little bit more meaningful for yourself, that you're not just staying in that same rut all the time. And reach out to your mentors often. Write your goals down are really, really important. And I don't care if it's 3 words, 2 words, 100,000 words on a page, whatever it might be. Send it to somebody. I will give you a little bit of a hint, though. If you send people your goals and it's 70 pages long, they're probably not going to read it much. But if you have something that says, these are the 4 things I'm going to do in the next month, they're going to go, wow, that's really impressive. Okay, I'm here if you need me. And I'm like, thanks, on board. That's what I need. I might just need a kick in the pants every now and then. I might need to say,
Yep.
hey, Jeff, I'm stuck here. What did you do to handle the situation before? And if they tell me, I'm like, holy smokes, I'm going again. I don't have a flat tire. I'm not stuck on the side of the road. I get the air back in the tire and I head on down the journey again. So those 5 coaches are really important. And I'm also here to tell you, because that's something I've been doing most of my life, is you will change your coaches often. And the reason is changing your coaches is not because they gave up on you, because simply you outgrew the coaches.
You need new
You're at a different
coaches
level.
to
You need
learn
new
new skills.
coaches, absolutely, that are going to, because you brought yourself up to this level already. And I say to my people all the time in my sales business, I say, listen, I want to teach you everything I have in here to bring you to this level. Where you take it to is up to you. But my hope for
Mm-hmm.
you is that you revolutionize where I've taken this to, and you can take it to a whole different level that's going to help you and your family and everybody around you become absolutely unbelievably successful. So that's what coaches that you have should want for you.
Absolutely. That's an amazing perspective, I think, to live by, because life, like you said earlier, and we both know it's a journey. So there's no final. It's a day by day, build by build. If it's a percentage, a half a percentage, as long as you're moving in the right direction,
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. So if you walk around, I think, with that expectation of, hey, let me just keep growing, it never ends. I'm a lifelong learner, lifelong student, however you look at it. That's going to just give you that opportunity to see where there's chances and ways for you to get better and people to network with, like you said, to be able to feed off of and learn from and keep growing. That's
100%.
really key. That's really key. I heard an analogy that I think is pretty awesome, where they said, life, when you look at, a garden, It's a bunch of different, flowers and plants and, trees and fruits and different things growing in there together, flourishing. And you walk into a garden, it looks awesome. There's colors and everything is good. And a community, right, that we live in, our community is the same thing. It's different people. But if we're not growing together and sharing the nutrients and the resources, then, it's not going to be a pretty situation like that garden that we walk into, because we're all growing and we should be growing. Otherwise, we're getting eaten up by the weeds and staying stagnant. So,
Mm.
yeah, it's interesting how, when you really want to share and give back, like you said, finding those people to pour into is important for you as a person, not just getting it all and, keeping it, but getting it all, using it and sharing it with other people to see their success and let them even elevate past you if possible. That's awesome. Kev, I appreciate your time, your patience, and with all of our technical channel challenges with Facebook. But we'll definitely do this again. I'm sure the viewers will get some value if they're paying attention and taking notes. There's definitely a lot of actionable steps that anyone can take advantage of, and it costs nothing. It's just investing of time and energy. So thanks again. We'll do it sooner rather than later, and man, if there's anything that I can do to help on your end, you already know I'm open and ready.
100%. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I
Have
look
a
forward to
great
talking to you
rest of
again
your
soon.
weekend. Absolutely. Thanks,
All
Kev.
right. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.